Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 205 of a year of change. Today I'm going to revisit stuff that I've sort of been hinting about over the weekend. And it started on Saturday, I guess, when I knew that this was going to be a long weekend. It's a holiday weekend, and just was sort of at a point where I thought, I'm just going to not really concern myself too much. Still going to sort of keep an eye on food, and but going to enjoy myself, and I know I'm going to go over. Which ended up turning into a very vast overeating session. It wasn't a lot of food, particularly. It's just they were very high calorie, high dense foods, and like croissants and stuff like that. So that's what I ended up eating. But actually, before I get into this, no, I'll get into that later. Or not. Maybe I will. You don't know what it is now. It's going to drive you nuts. Don't worry, you will in a second. And then Sunday, I thought, okay, well, it's going to sort of continue on, and then I thought, I don't really want to do this. I don't really want to. It's sort of torn because you really just want to enjoy yourself, but then at the same time, you feel really bad that you've gone so far off the rails. And I did my weigh-in on Sunday, and didn't make any progress at all. It had actually gained about, what was it? 0.6 pounds? 0.8 pounds? Anyway, almost a pound. Going back to what I was just going to say that you don't know, I did this morning. I woke up, and because I'm a glutton for punishment, decided to weigh myself again. Because yesterday I didn't end up going over, but again, it was because of fluids. It wasn't because of booze. It wasn't because of food, so at least that was good, and I ate healthier. I had some fish and stuff and some sesame seeds instead of regular snacks, so I really sort of turned it around. But I'm a glutton for punishment, so I decided to weigh myself this morning, and if I had weighed myself, if my weigh-in was today, I would have actually lost weight. So I'm now 0.8 pounds less than I was last week, so that's a bit of an encouragement. But of course my weigh-in is on Sunday, and on Sunday I had gained. So yeah, 1.6 pounds difference since yesterday. Shows you what a day can do. Anyway, the main thing that I wanted to talk about today was just that over the past few weeks, I've said it from time to time, oh, well, I really need to get back to where I am. I've been sort of lax and things like that. And it really sort of, I don't want to say it just occurred to me this weekend, because it hasn't. It's been one of those things that I know I've sort of whined about not making as much progress as I'd like. And I think part of that is because, well, the vast majority of it, I think, is because I'm not tracking things properly. And when I looked at this weekend and thought, I'm going to have a weekend where I don't need to worry and just sort of not eat what I want, but I know I'm going to go over. Originally, it had been planned that it was just, I've got a 3-day weekend. I'm going to enjoy myself this weekend. I'm not going to worry. And by Sunday, like having that one day on Saturday and knowing that I had sort of undone a lot of, well, obviously not, but at the time, undone quite a bit of work that I had accomplished over the week, it really sort of stopped me from continuing on and doing it 2 days in a row and 3 days in a row. And it's one of those things that I know that every now and then we're going to want to have a cheat day, but that desire to have that, it's pretty strong. You're going to have it from time to time, but I found that trying to justify doing it 2 and 3 days in a row, you really don't want to. And I think part of it is the fear of getting back to where I was before, constantly having every day be like Saturday. But I've noticed that over the past few weeks, I haven't really been as stringent as I should be. Obviously, with my sugar levels being the way where they were this week, that was way off. Tracking water and sodium and fat and all the other stuff. And I feel like part of it is that I've become a little complacent and going, okay, no, I know what my diet is. I know what I'm eating. And I have a hair in my eyeball. There you go. And that it's sort of not a laziness so much as an overconfidence in saying, oh, I'm sure I can have this, I'm sure I can have that. And I'm looking back, and I think that's what has sort of started to happen. I'm still, obviously, if today was my weigh-in, then I would have lost some more weight. It would have been progress. But I'm looking at what I've been doing, and it feels as if I've become a little too overconfident in saying, well, I can probably have a couple of jujubes here and, some of these over here. And, I mean, granted, it was only 20 jujubes over the course of a week. I mean, in a day, but throughout the entire week. But it's still to that stage. I don't really think that I'm ready to get to that point where it's okay for me to have bad snacks all the time. And really, it's one of those things that we shouldn't be doing. I know that eventually we're going to be able to get to a point where we can say, okay, well, I had this for snacks, and this is okay, and this is okay. But we aren't there yet. I'm not there yet anyway. You may be at this stage. Maybe you didn't have as much to lose as I do. And maybe you've reached your goal and you've started to balance things out and you think that you're doing all right. And if you can continue on doing that, that's okay. But I really think that it's just sort of halted where I was. And I can see, like, looking back, I can see little things slipping in here and there. And part of that is because I have lost a lot of weight. I mean, 57 pounds at my last 56 pounds at my last official weigh-in. When you get to that point, you think, no, I'm doing things right. It's okay. I can relax a little bit. And I really can't. I need to continue on with what I'm doing. And it just feels like that, momentum is gone. That I was doing really, really well, continued on, and I mean, I'm still making progress as I go week by week. Aside from this week, which went up, I'm still losing, roughly a pound a week, which is still good. It's still the pace that, I think is the healthiest for us, so that we know we're going to stick with it. I just am looking back and I'm seeing little things slipping in here and there that really shouldn't be slipping in here or there. This weekend is a bit of a write-off. So I'm not really including that as like a regular occurrence. But in my head, I'm thinking, is it just because I'm having this day where I go, okay, good enough. I had pizza and then I had, what else I have? High calorie foods, bunch of stuff anyway. And yes, I know it's Thanksgiving, but it's not the same as me going and spending time and having a big buffet with the family. It's just that I'm wondering if these are excuses I'm using to sort of slide off what I'm supposed to be doing. So, if any of you are out there whether it's for a holiday, that's fine. It's Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever it is. Those are okay. We know those are going to happen. But having a day where it's a Saturday, so I can do this, I don't think we're ready for that yet. I'm not anyway. Because it's really difficult to sort of... I mean, I said this before, we're really good at lying to ourselves, and we can delude ourselves into going, oh, it's not that bad, it's only one day. And I'm trying to think back as to the last time that I went, no, it's fine, it's this little thing is here. The jujubes, we'll just go with those. Having a snack like that, it's only 20, it's fine, but it could very easily turn into 3 and 4 handfuls at a time. And it's really just that, I don't want to get back to where I was. I mean, I'm still a tremendous distance away from where my goal is. I still need to lose almost another 100 pounds. I need to lose less than 100 pounds now. That's good. Anyway, I still need to lose about 100 pounds. So just sort of setting myself back by going for those, and it's mainly a snacking thing. It's not really the meals. The meals I'm actually eating fairly well. I'm having a standard breakfast, and I'm not overeating like I used to, but constantly buying things that I know I really shouldn't be, but just saying, well, I have a craving for it. It's okay if I have one every now and then. The problem is that is gradually going to sneak into being my snack, and I mean, I've mentioned them before, so I would suspect at this stage I could say, yeah, it probably is. So I'm going to try to start leaning more towards, I still eat a lot of fruit and vegetables and stuff like that, but just sort of need to cut out a lot of the junk food that's in there, because I think it's sort of holding me back along. I think I would have made more progress if I hadn't been doing that. And I know a lot of you are going, we know, we've been yelling at you every day going, stop eating the junk food. In my head, though, I'm looking at it going, it's really 5 or 10 jujubes, in this case 20 for this week. So that's not as bad as it could have been, which is true, but it's not as good as it should have been either. It should have been something, going back to the fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. So I'm going to sort of cut those out and just stop saying, well, no, I really, really want these. And as long as I only have a couple, it's probably okay. Because when you're only having a couple every now and then, and we've all done this, we've all made, like brownies or fudge or something and go, well, I'm just going to have a little piece. So you go and you have a little pice. And then you go back and you just go, I've only had a couple of little pieces. And you keep doing that throughout the course of the day and you've eaten the entire pan. And that's what I feel like that I've been doing gradually over the course of a few weeks. In my head, I know it's not true. I mean, the last time I bought a big bag of them and I gave them away. And this last batch, I gave almost everything else away as well. Because it's one of those things that it's just, that desire is there. And as soon as I have a few, I start feeling guilty. And not exactly guilty. Just one of those, what are you doing to yourself sort of things. So at least that has kept things curbed to a point where if I was doing my weigh-in on Mondays, I would have still lost weight. But obviously I don't, so I have to include the Sunday thing. But at least seeing that today gave me a little bit of, hope, because at least that way I'm going, okay, really, I'm doing all right. I still would have lost if I hadn't binged on Saturday. And so at least there's that. But, and I know this is sort of one of those things, and I keep thinking in my head, I keep saying this, so I need to start tracking things properly and getting to where I need to be. I am tracking absolutely everything that I eat. Every now and then, like Saturday, once I got to a certain point, I'm like, I'm not going to keep tracking all this stuff. I was able to get my sugar levels for the day. That was the main thing. But once you're over, I think it was well over 1,000 calories. So, I mean, with the alcohol, that's why. Because alcohol is very, very high calorie, and I'm mixing it with lemonade. So, and it's unsweetened, I think. No, there is some sugar in there, but it's roughly half the sugar. So, but that's probably where my sugar things. That's why Saturday was so high. But that's where the majority of the calories came from, as well as the food. I won't lie to you, there was a lot of food in there as well. But once you get to a certain point, you just think, I don't understand. I got to keep tracking as much as I can. But you're going, I'm just going to stop tracking the drinks because it's just, I've gone over, and that's what it is. Anyway, I still tracked everything, so I didn't miss out on anything. But it's that, I don't know, that habit of looking at it and going, good enough, I'm done for the day, everything is good, and then saying, well, I could probably have a little bit more, and have a little bit more, which is why I've been sort of cutting back on the amount I'm tracking with the treadmill, which I didn't do this weekend either. So, I mean, the whole weekend just feels shot, and maybe that's what's bringing this on, is that part of it, I think, is that guilt of saying, I was planning on having, a cheat weekend, which turned into a cheat Saturday. Sunday, aside from not doing my treadmill, I was fine. Still went over because of alcohol. But other than that, food-wise, I ate healthy. I ate properly. I didn't overeat. And I had my regular meals. It was good. I actually would have probably been under if I had done my treadmill. But I think it's because I planned out ahead of time and saying, oh, I'm going to have a cheat day. And then that, you really shouldn't be doing that. That sort of sunk in. And then when you look at the numbers, and I saw the actual numbers from Saturday, and then just at that point, that's when I was like, I can't do this 2 days in a row. And it's not really to sort of fight back all that stuff that goes, oh, no, it's very bad, I can't do that, and you have to stay and have it really be difficult. It wasn't really that difficult to not do it a second day in a row. It just sort of, I felt like a dog who had peed on the rug. Just like, I really had to go. Sorry, but I still feel bad. So it's a weird analogy, I know, but that's the closest thing I can equate it to. So, but I think that's sort of what's prompted this, is that I feel like I haven't really, I don't know, the progress that we've been making and that get up and go energy sort of thing, that I feel like it's been just sort of slowing down over the past few weeks, and I miss it. I really want to get back to where we were, where we had, I mean, it's a little bit different because we aren't changing every week, because we're sort of focusing on, fat and sugars and sodium and stuff like that. But I think with this is that it's, I don't know if you're having some of the same issues, that maybe it's because we've been going for so long that it's inevitable that we're going to hit a bump in the road. Not necessarily just with our progress, but with that Almost choked on myself. Done choked on myself. Anyway, if you, I completely lost my train of thought now. It doesn't take very much. That not the progress that we've been making, because we're still making progress, but just that momentum where we've gone for so long that we're hitting that inevitable bump in the road. But I suppose one good way to look at this, I'm not one of those people who's like, well, there's positive in everything. There isn't. Sometimes shitty things are just shitty. But with this is that normally at this stage, we would have already quit. So I suppose you can look at it that way and say, no, it's a really rough patch that we're getting through. But for me anyway, you may not be going through this. Just a rough patch where, and that's the thing, I'm still tracking everything. I'm still doing my treadmill aside from the weekends. I'm still doing everything I need to do. I just don't have that enthusiasm that, I should be getting, because I am making progress and it is good. And it's just every now and then you think, I haven't gotten to the point where I think, what's the point anymore? And then just start eating again. Dangerously close to that. I can feel it. I can feel myself slipping into that. Especially when you look down and you go, I gained, but I know why I gained, because of this one day. So there's that at least. But I think it's just inevitably at some point we're going to hit a rough patch and just go, okay, this is our choppy seas moment. I'm mixing metaphors. I'm trying to find a really good one, and it's not happening. So this is our rough patch, basically, for me anyway. But it hasn't really lasted all that long, and I can look at it and know exactly why it's been a rough patch, and just get back to where I was and just go, okay, you know what? I gotta grow the fuck up. Stop buying the stuff that is bad. Start buying better things, taking my own advice, and get back to where I was, from a couple of weeks ago, and I should be fine. Because it's really only been, I guess, a couple of weeks where I've sort of really not fallen off the wagon so much, because I'm still doing everything. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of I'm not as vigilant as I should be. I'm not doing what I should be doing, is the long and the short of it. So, need to start doing what I need to be doing. And then I'll be doing everything that we need to be doing, and we can do it together. Anyway, this has gone far, far too long. Actually, it's not too bad. All right. But I'm going to end it soon. I know that normally this is sort of a, subject day where we talk about something that's, common to all of us. And some of you may not be hitting this rough patch yet. You may just keep on going. You may have already reached your goal. Maybe some of you hit this a while ago and you've already gone through it and you've come out on the other side, obviously, and you're still doing well. For those of you that are still going through this, just remember that this is just a rough patch. It's not something that we're going to quit over. We've come way too far to quit now. It's just that we've sort of gotten a little lax in what we're trying to do, and sneaking in things that we shouldn't, and saying, well, it's okay if I have this. It's, I'm still doing my exercises and I'm still watching all my stuff. It's okay if I have a cheat day. It's all right. And although we've said, cheat days are fine, even if you're having one a month, that's still only 12 days out of 365 where we've had a cheat day. But our cheat days now are a little different than they were back then. A cheat day for me, I guess, is just going over my calories. Not necessarily overeating or, eating junk food and things like that. A cheat day for me, I guess, is having those 20 jujubes and then feeling bad about it. But it's not the same as it was. And at least we can look at that. But part of it as well is that we don't want to slip back into that. Because just like smoking, it's very easy to, quit for 20 years and then start right up again. I meant to snap my fingers and it came out. So, here we go. So it's similar, I guess. I was going to say it's a little different than that. It's quite a lot different than that. But the addiction part of it, where it's very easy to go back into that old habit. We aren't going to be able to eat as much as we could before. But, the way that we weren't, as a normal human being, they can't eat that much anyway. We can train ourselves. So, there's that risk. I just don't want to go back into that. And I find that by sort of getting lax and saying it's okay if I have, a small bag of chips today. That's fine. It's not that much. I'll still count my calories. Once you start introducing all that stuff, then it doesn't take very long for it to become a regular thing. And for me, I guess now at this stage, it's sort of once a week is a regular thing. Because I'm not doing this every single day. It's just I'm thinking back and I'm going, at least once a week I've had something that's probably bad for me, which really isn't that bad when I look at it. When you sort of take everything into perspective, it's not that bad. But for me, I'm looking at it going, that's how it's going to start. That I really need to say, no, enough is enough. Stop buying the stuff that I know I shouldn't be buying and get back on track. And I know I keep saying this over and over, and that's part of the problem too, is that I figure it's because I've heard this from other people, and you're like, yeah, fine, no, it's all right. You'll get back on track. You're going to lose the weight. But, I'm still making progress. That's the main thing. So I just need to stop this before it gets too... Actually, you need to stop it before it goes too far. There we go. It's probably the best way to put it. So, anyway, I'm going to leave this video here. So, if you have any comments regarding this, if you're going through something like this, or if you already have, or if you can sort of feel yourself start slipping into it, let me know. Any information is good information. So whether it's, here's how you came out on the other side, or you're just starting in and, you need to talk it over with someone, let us know, because that's what we're here for. We're trying to build. And this is another thing that I sort of want to get back into as well, is that sense of community that seems to have eluded me, and that's part of it too. I just sort of want to get back and put focus where it needs to be. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video here. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. In the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.